This week on Northland Dodge's The Regional, we check out the new album from melodic rockers Like Fire, continue the music with the sounds of some country legends, and meet one of Canada's top light heavyweight boxers, Thomas Spears.
Northland Dodge CHRYSLER Jeeps, The Regional, brought to you by Northland Dodge CHRYSLER Jeep in Prince George. For information, 250-562-5254.
Like fire?
You like fire?
Are we like fire?
Did you play with fire when you were a little boy in the basement?
Yeah. WD-40 matches, hairspray on your hand, light it on fire.
So what makes a band work? Their hairstyles, clothes, looks? Maybe it's how much money you have in your promotional budget. Or could it be being an egotistical maniac? Well, this band, with a new name, Like Fire, works on all fronts, plus talent.
It was What the Moon Brings, yes, for like, what, a month? A few months? I didn't like the name, basically. Everyone else was cool with it, and I wasn't cool with it, so being the egotistical maniac lead singer, I had to go.
We balance nicely because I'm exactly the opposite. I'm very humble and I just... No, we clash sometimes. Yeah, he's definitely an egomaniac though. And he knows it. He knows it. I had a friend who was like 12 years old and he was into Guns N' Roses. And I remember hearing Slash play guitar, singing with his Les Paul, and that just blew my mind. I remember he had a hockey stick and I had this toy battle axe, and we'd jump around in the living room and pretend to play guitar. And then not long after that, I did whatever I could, odd jobs, and I bought my first guitar.
Oh, I hate it. I hate these guys. I can't wait to be famous. It's going good. Seem to make some progress. Finally getting a CD out, that's nice. Yeah, it's pretty exciting though to hear the writing process and hear what everyone's actually pitching into the songs, and it's neat. It's neat to see it all come out.
Greg was actually with us in our very first band, Denmark, about 8 years ago, and now he's back, and it's like a reunion.
I'm a little humble. I know our egomaniac lead singer would say differently. 5 years ago now, I moved to Calgary, started work down there, and at that point in time, it just wasn't working out schedule-wise with work. I just couldn't make it up to play with the guys, so I had to kind of step down, which is a major bummer. I kind of regretted it ever since I left. Kind of moved on in a job, and now the schedule allows me to come back on a more frequent basis, so it definitely helps out. And they had mentioned that they're looking for a bass player, so I jumped all over that as soon as I could.
Like Fire, check them out with their new CD. This is Bert Goulet for Shaw TV in Dawson Creek saying goodbye.
Can I tell all my friends that I don't like them because I'm a rock star now? I don't like you guys anymore, and I can say that because I'm a rock star.
The voice, the look, and the emotion. In almost every way, she's Patsy Cline.
I think people just relate to her because there was nothing false about her, you know? She just was Patsy Cline.
But when the stage lights go down, musical theater professional and songwriter Sarah Jean Hosey is just that, Sarah Jean. A woman with a passion for performance and a passion for Patsy Cline.
when I was a kid, about 10 or 11, I was in Charlottetown with my parents, and we saw a woman who played Patsy Cline, and I just fell in love with the music. It just fit, you know, and I knew it fit even then. Just her voice fit with my voice, and she's got so much heart. It's a treat to sing her material. It's great music written back then.
Hosey, together with fellow tribute artist David James as Johnny Cash, performed their Country Legends show to a sold-out Gibraltar room in Williams Lake. For both performers, their respective alter egos aren't far off from their own personalities.
Me and Johnny shared similar upbringings. I was rural out in Alberta, and you know, school of hard knocks, if you know what I'm saying, and he had problems with addictions, myself as well. I've been clean a few years now, pretty much about 5 years.
You can feel the true emotion in it, and everybody can connect to that. Everyone's had a heartbreak in their life, everyone's felt joy, so she brought all of that out in her music.
James and his band Big River revisited hits from early in Cash's career all the way to the very end. For him, it wasn't until Cash's life was thrust once again into the spotlight with the release of Walk the Line that his stage persona began to take shape.
My girlfriend brought it home from the movie store, and we watched it, and it just seemed to fit. I started singing, and she's like, "Oh my God, you sound better than Joaquin," but don't tell him I said that.
As much as both performers embody the iconic stars, Hosey says a true tribute artist takes the best from both worlds. A little bit of Patsy mixed with a little bit of Sarah Jean, when put together, is magic.
We both sort of take on that we're ourselves in the form of Patsy and Johnny, which is great. I find that a lot of impersonations can be, I've said this before, can be hollow, because if you're trying to create the sound, you're thinking technically, then you're not coming from a real place. So I technically listened to all of her stuff and learned how she produced it, and then I went for myself where I would come from in the stories, where it would connect to my own heart. So it's a bit of both. She's definitely there. Sometimes it spooks me. I think, you're here, aren't you? Which sounds strange, but it's true.
True that in Williams Lake, these country legends were, for one night only, alive and well.
Well, I am crazy for trying, and I am crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving.
In Williams Lake, I'm Sam Numson for Shaw TV.
Local boxer Thomas Spears has been representing Prince George on the national stage, but competing at such a high level wasn't originally what the amateur boxer set out to do when he first put on the gloves 5 years ago.
I didn't want to fight, I just wanted to get into shape because I was a bit overweight, a bit chubby back then, back in grade 10, a bit fat. I wanted to get into a little bit of shape, so I started getting into shape and then sparred a bit, and I was like, man, I want to fight. And then I was like, Wayne, I want to fight, give me a fight. And he got me a fight, and then kept getting more fights. I was like, I just want 10 fights, and I got 10 fights, and then you're open, right? And you're fighting like the best.
This past January, Thomas fought at the National Elite Senior Championships and did quite well, beating some of the best boxers from Alberta, Ontario, and Manitoba before settling for silver in the men's light heavyweight category.
After his first fight back in Nova Scotia, people started talking. After a second fight, it was even more and more. Everybody was talking. Who's this kid from BC? And after he had his third fight, when he beat the #2 light heavyweight in Canada, the B-team champion, Andrew Gardner from Manitoba, everybody was saying, man, can that kid fight?
It's that taste of success that drives Thomas to compete.
Most of it is to like become the best at it, like as a sport, right? I want to be the one who's on top.
He's dedicated, he's for real, and he's living the right life, and he's really serious about his boxing right now.
While Thomas has yet to reach the height of his boxing career, he's already reminding Wayne of a previous boxer he worked with, Prince George boxing legend Laurie Mann.
Thomas is kind of reminds me a lot of Laurie. He's willing to learn, and he's very sharp, and he picks things up very quickly.
Well, obviously it makes me feel great, right? Because he was such a great fighter, but so happy that Wayne thinks of me that way and motivates me even more too.
For Thomas, his recent success and accolades aren't enough. He's already got bigger goals for the next few years.
I hope to become a world champ. That's the main goal in my life. That's the one thing I want more. I want that more than an Olympic medal. Just to have that belt.
For Shaw TV in Prince George, I'm Kevin Neal.
Northland Dodge Chrysler Jeeps The Regional has been brought to you by Northland Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Prince George. For information, www.northlanddodge.ca.